broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, AfterBuzzers! Welcome back to another episode of Mindy Project, Season 3, Episode 14, No More Mr. Noish Guy.
Nice.
If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube. It's YouTube/AfterBuzzTV, TV, and check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. And don't forget to leave us comments. We love interacting with you guys. And you can tweet us using the hashtag #ABTVMindyProject. And we love talking to all you guys. So I'm Sterling Cates. You can find me at Sterling Cates.
I'm April Whisenhant. You can find me at April Whisenhant.
I'm Eman Redwan. You can find me at
Imani Fresh.
There she is. There she is. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, what did you guys think of tonight's episode? It's been a couple of weeks. I missed you guys.
I missed y'all. It was different than the rest of the episodes we've seen. Of course, it was still funny and still had, you know, our one-liners that we love so much, but it definitely took a little more of a serious turn at the end.
You know what I thought? I thought this episode should have been right before the break. Because it would have, like, kept us, like, oh, my God, wondering what happens next.
Yeah.
But, like, for it to be the first episode back and then for them to leave us hanging like that, I was like,
I kind of forgot what happened in the last episode, too.
Me too.
I mean,
me
too.
Was that San Francisco Bay or whatever?
Yes.
Was that episode?
Okay.
But yeah, it did seem like there was a lot of closure this episode.
Yeah.
With Peter leaving, no more Adam Pally. We're so sad.
I know.
Yeah.
But he's moving on to some really cool things he's going to be producing
happy
for
for him.
ABC, so that's really awesome. But I am going to miss him.
I know. I've been thinking, like, oh, we haven't seen his character as much. Maybe I won't miss it as much. But then tonight, I'm like, wait, but I don't know. I'll miss his and Mindy's friendship for sure.
Right. I was going to say, I kind of forgot how close they are. And they're the only two characters on the show that really share a lot of secrets and that sort of stuff. And we get to know each of them really well just because of their relationship. So it's going to be interesting to see who Mindy gets close to now that he's going to be gone.
He's her gynecologist?
That was a little awkward for me.
Yeah. I was like,
Well, they're all gynecologists, so,
But,
right,
like,
you know, I feel like if you are one, then it's less awkward because you know how, like,
Even
I
if
don't know
I
from
was one,
experience,
I'm not
but-
going to have my colleague go down there and, like, check it out.
No.
I don't know. I feel comfortable with female
Yeah.
gynecologists.
yeah, well,
she's pretty open. At one
To
point,
each
she
their
was
own.
going to let Danny do it, though, so.
that would be
prefer-
awkward.
No, I don't prefer that.
Right.
It was before they were dating, though.
Oh,
so
okay.
they did it, like, as a joke, because she's like, you can't do this. Like, you can't be professional and be my gynecologist. And he was like, yeah, I can, but it
I don't
ended
know if
badly.
you should have your gynecologist be someone you're dating.
Or
'Cause
working
that's real
with.
personal.
Yeah.
That's like.
I mean, okay, I'm just not even going to go there.
All right, anyway.
I feel
so
sorry for
we'll
any
move on.
guys that are watching right
We'll move
now.
on. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Mindy has been in San Francisco for 3 months now, doing her fellowship at Stanford. She seems to be enjoying it. She has friends. You know, we don't know much about her friends there, but she says she has them, so we'll just
They
believe
seem
her.
like they like her.
yeah, yeah. They had that one scene of them
In the
walking.
montage,
yeah.
A real deep friendship,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it seems like her and Danny have been doing a good job of going to visit one another and staying in touch and all of that. But in the beginning, he's visiting California, and he's just like the typical New Yorker, pretty stubborn about liking it. But it seems like he enjoyed it for the most part.
A bike helmet for or an earthquake, just in case.
What are the
Yeah.
odds that there would be an earthquake the one weekend that he's in town?
Right,
Of
I was
course.
gonna say the one time
Yeah.
he's there's an earthquake,
Yeah.
and when really it doesn't happen that much.
Yeah.
No.
He
Like,
looked so funny though, and his he's still in his little like biker or whatever little outfit, his jacket, and then he puts on a helmet, and his face turns so red. It was hilarious.
Have you guys experienced an earthquake out here? Just a
Yeah.
little side
Couple.
note. Yeah.
I'm always asleep.
Yeah, it's
God.
always like the first thing in the morning.
I was asleep.
think-
I've experienced like one big one since I moved out here, and it was so different than I ever imagined it to be, because I was thinking like, I mean, everything does shake, but it's like, it's exactly how like you hear it scientifically, like it feels like the
Yeah,
earth underneath you is shaking.
Yeah.
But that's not how I like pictured it in my mind to feel like. It was crazy though.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of the same big one that happened. It was like at 6 in the morning. I
Oh,
thought
that
someone
one was so scary.
I thought someone was breaking into my apartment trying to kidnap me. I immediately ran into my roommates.
None of my roommates, none of us said anything. We all just sat there, and then my friend John lived with us at the time from home, and he's like, April? I'm like, I'm alive. It's okay.
One time when I was in DC, you know, they never get earthquakes.
Right.
But that one time I was there and I was taking a nap. It was like mid-afternoon. I was taking a nap and there was an earthquake.
Was it bad?
It was pretty bad, but imagine you're just taking a nap.
Right.
Casually taking a nap in the afternoon, and there's like a big earthquake in a place that is not known
DC, yeah.
for earthquakes.
Yeah,
I
well,
lost
maybe,
it.
Yeah, maybe Danny's onto something. We should walk around with helmets on.
yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea if it's going to happen.
Probably not.
So, anyway, Rob, Gurgle, what's his name?
Gurgler.
Gurgler. I always like to say Gurgle. But he approaches Mindy about an opportunity to start their own fraternity. Fertility. I can't even say it.
I was like,
Fraternity.
Fraternity?
That's not it.
Fertility.
Yeah, fertility clinic. And it's not a bad idea. But it'd be in San Francisco, and they would want Danny to be a part of it. But it'd be just about convincing him to move across the country.
Her little Italian meatball, or whatever she said. What do I do about my little meatball back home?
I thought that the whole idea was unnecessary. Like, okay, you can open up a fertility office, clinic in New York. Why do you have to do it across the country?
Because that's where Dr. Gurgler lives.
But he doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have a little meatball.
Exactly. That's why he's trying to create his own little meatballs.
Oh, I see what they're doing right now. He's gonna like come be the new Peter. He's probably gonna move to New York.
Oh my word!
If I get this right, I am becoming a writer.
You should.
Yes. Well, do you think though that they won't do the San Francisco thing?
No,
that they'll say
I
in
don't
New
think
York?
so.
Well, now with the information that we learned at the end, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all that would really have to happen is Danny and Morgan would have to go to San Francisco. I feel like everyone else is kind of replaceable a little bit.
I don't know. I kind of like the whole dynamic of everybody having one lines that are really not that relevant, but like seeing them.
Yeah.
Like Tamara, you need that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Tamara can come.
You never know.
How about Jeremy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
I always forget about him.
So basically,
anyway.
just forget the whole cast.
Yeah.
Bring Danny and Mindy and Morgan. Let's just add all you can.
So you guys are saying scratch the San Francisco idea.
It's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
I think it's a great way for them to introduce like
Gurgler.
and it's a great way for them to introduce this like more serious conflict, because this is such, a funny, lighthearted show, but it got a little real at the end.
Well, something
and that's what
needed
we
to happen.
need. Yeah.
And also I feel like some big changes, some big leaps, if you will, as Mindy says, need
according
to happen.
to Michelle Kwan.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is Michelle Kwan?
She's a figure skater.
Who is Michelle Kwan?
Marissa did not like that.
I'm sorry. I'm good with faces, not
That's like,
names.
who is Nancy Kerrigan?
I know who she is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
I
I'm
think.
gonna believe you on
think.
that one, I guess.
Is she Asian?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I know who she is.
Last name's Kwan. So. Anyway,
Don't be racist.
We'll talk about this after the show. Anyway, so then Mindy goes to visit New York, and we find out that Lauren is moving to Texas. And I know, exactly. We wanted Lauren off the show, but we definitely didn't want Peter to go with her.
Let's not forget Laura. Tracy Wigfield, who plays Lauren, does have excellent writing skills for the
we
show.
say that every week.
I know.
I
feel bad. I'm like, oh.
the character.
We love her.
Yeah.
You can still come on our show anytime you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please do.
So we find out here that Peter, has this epiphany because he's examining Mindy. And they're sharing secrets, and how she tells him about this opportunity in San Francisco, and he says that Lauren's moving to Texas, and they're just starting their relationship again, and that's kind of when he decides to make it real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he decides to make it real, but the whole thing looked so fake to me. it just looked like they had no chemistry.
Yeah, let's talk about that airport scene. Like, that was just really, I really wanted her to be like, yes, we're so in love, come with me, because then it makes it seem like he's moving for a reason.
Or at least act like you care.
Yeah, well, she just seems so unsure and not into it.
She was like talking about her zone.
Yeah.
Who cares about a zone?
Ooh, I care about my zone.
I care about a zone too, but like when a man's professing his love to you.
Right.
I mean...
She just seems not into it, though, just like you said. I mean, and that's the problem that they had last time. He was super into it, and she just kind of wasn't. And I do not think she wants him to come to Texas.
Well, now he has no choice because he's written off the show. So he is in Texas, living happily ever after.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, he even says that he needs to go look for an apartment just in case she doesn't want him to move in with him. But you know, regardless, he has to go off the show. So I guess that's the best way to do it.
Maybe he's gonna be recurring, right?
Yeah, he'll be whenever his schedule allows.
Yeah.
And I imagine a lot of scenes in the future with him just on the phone with Mindy. Maybe they're catching up with what's happening just as an outlet for her.
I also, though, as a character for him, I kind of want to just see, like, know that he's happy.
Yeah.
Because we've just...
I'm sure he's okay.
Yeah.
You want him to rest in peace.
Oh, kind of, yes. Because I mean, none of us have really liked this whole Lauren storyline. And Lauren and Peter, anyway, from the beginning. And it's just like...
In your head, you don't want it to end that way.
Yeah, it ends on like such an... We all three were cringing the entire time in that airport scene. We're like... And so, I don't know.
Plus, you like him.
No. I mean, I like him, but I like Chris Messina.
Okay, my bad.
I like Danny.
Okay.
Well, whoa, don't mess that up, Eman. Seriously.
I'm sorry, Danny.
So let's back. So speaking of Danny, so Mindy is there visiting, and he takes her to this brownstone townhouse situation.
She's like,
oh, it's really nice. And then he's like, oh no, it's not the nice one. It's the one with graffiti and rats all up inside of it. But anyway, so it's kind of like a dream of hers to have a house like that in the city. In the city. And so he bought it for them. And he said, it's ours. And that kind of is like, you got to talk to somebody about that before you go and buy a house.
Yeah. Mindy Kaling tweeted that the original line was supposed to be, I think they just said, like, it's always been your dream to have a brownstone in Manhattan. But she said the original line was supposed to be, let me find it again. She says, Chris's line was originally, it was always your dream to have a brownstone, like Matt Broderick's wife in Sex and the City. Because he's married to, what's her face?
Sarah Jessica.
Wow. What's her face?
What's her face?
Disrespectful.
I know, right? I'm so sorry, SJP.
But yeah, so he just flat out comes out and tells her about this new house, but she still hasn't told him about the San Francisco opportunity and that she's thinking that maybe they should move to San Francisco.
Let me get closer to you so I'm in the shot.
Yeah.
This is my problem. This is my problem with Danny.
We move a lot.
Yeah.
All right. You've got the floor, Eman. Go for it.
Okay. So, he just wants to be in control at all times. Yeah. When she was all into the relationship and she wanted to move in and, expand the apartment, he was like, oh, no, I'm not ready. But then he goes and buys a brownstone on his own without discussing that. Why is it okay to do that?
Right.
That is not cool.
I think he thought that it would just make her really happy because it has been something she's always wanted. But I don't think that clearly Danny has kind of a selfish mind.
Yeah.
So he's not thinking that, oh, this is a life-changing experience. She's not moving there permanently, or she wasn't supposed to be moving there permanently. But anytime you do something for that long of an amount of time, of course it's going to change you as a person. Yeah. And I think he had good intentions with it. I think he was thinking like, oh, she would love this. I know she wants to move in together, blah, 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 blah. But it's also like, come on, homie.
Yeah, well, it just seems like a really bad time, and he's still in denial about her being across the country.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's not like she's in New York right now. It's a terrible time to buy a house with somebody who doesn't even live in the same city. But then also, you don't really know what the future holds, and he hasn't even proposed or anything like that. Right. So you would think that might come first before buying a house together.
And I feel like the reason why she decided to take that, what is it?
Fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say brownstone. No, that's not right.
The reason she decided to take the fellowship is because she was kind of unsure about their relationship. Because at first she was, not wanting to go because of their relationship.
And because he wasn't ready to commit.
Exactly.
So
but then when he told her he's not ready to go there, she was like, okay, I need to do this. This is the next step for me.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, no. I don't want you to be independent.
Right.
Come back. And it's not fair, you know?
He wants what he can't have. He wants everything to be easy in his way.
He's
and
such a man.
It's not exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be his way.
Yeah, true. I was surprised that Mindy wasn't more upset about all of the changes that have happened while she's been gone. Like, even just like her office being a gym now and that sort of stuff. I'm surprised she didn't react more to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is typical Mindy fashion for her to overreact, but I think she has a lot on her plate at this point, a lot on her mind.
Well, I think what it says about it is that she's actually happy in San Francisco, and she knows, that she has all of these amazing opportunities happening, and she has this whole new life now. So I think it just shows that she's happy there, and she's not really feeling like she's missing out too much.
They didn't even realize she was missing. Tamara said, "You were gone?"
She's like, "You haven't been talking to me for 2 months." It's like, I don't even live here anymore. Tamara's ridiculous.
We need her.
We do.
And the old lady.
And Betsy.
Yeah.
Or not Betsy. Is that her name? Oh my gosh, I just forgot.
They're
her
so
character name.
memorable, those girls.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you, that's
No.
the whole cast doesn't need to come to San Francisco.
Betsy is. Never mind. I'm gonna mess this up. I'll remember it next week.
Let us know when you think of it. So Mindy throws Peter a going away party, and Jeremy and Danny are being, little drama queens, and they're mad that Peter's moving, and they don't want him to, obviously. But so she throws him a going away party, and Danny and Jeremy don't show up because they're just
They're mad.
They're boycotting.
They're men.
Yeah. Yeah. He attributes him moving to Mindy, and everyone kind of doesn't like that because they're like, okay, just because you move doesn't mean you can get everyone in here to move. But then they show up, and he ends his really sentimental speech to Mindy and goes and hugs them. But more importantly, Gurgler shows up and makes the announcement about the San Francisco clinic. And she hadn't talked to Danny yet.
Because he sees that huge Bon Voyage poster and he thinks it's for Mindy.
Her going away party, yeah.
He never stops to think.
No, Gurgler
No
is...
filter.
He gurgles a lot. I don't know where I was going with that, but you get the point.
I got it.
I get it. I get it. But then this is where Danny finds out about this. And so let's talk about, at the end, they say, what are we going to do? And they just end it with, I don't know. So, we can talk about this in predictions, but we don't really know what's happening if they're going to move this.
Well, we know what they're going to do now.
Yeah.
Now that she's preggers.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about that. I was thinking earlier today, I was like, okay, Mindy's got to get pregnant at some point. It might not be this season, might be 3 seasons from now if it lasts that long, but it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And at the end, when she's on the phone with Peter, he says, oh, I have your test results. You're pregnant. I was not expecting that this episode. I felt like there was a lot happening for that bomb to be dropped at the very end.
I wasn't expecting that anytime soon, until he brought it up, and then I was like, that's where they're going with this?
Yeah.
But I just wonder how they're going to keep it going. I don't know. I'm really curious about that situation because it just throws a wrench in everything. She's only been in San Francisco for 3 months. I guess it's a way for them to end the San Francisco thing a little early, but we also have 7 episodes left this season.
How long is the Mindy Project? How long is the fellowship?
9 months.
9 months.
So she might already be 3 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Then.
I really want her to, because pregnancy is 9 months long.
I get that part. I know I'm single, but damn. Let's just move right along.
Anyways, I want her to finish the fellowship, though.
I do too.
Because she made this huge move and sacrifice, and so I want her to finish it. But I guess we'll see if she finishes it out.
I think
with
she
the
will
pregnancy.
finish it. I don't think she's if anything, she's a couple weeks or a few weeks or whatever. I don't think she's 3 months or anything.
Yeah.
She would be showing a little bit more, or she'd be missing her periods.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we're on this note, because I feel like we're getting into predictions anyway, let's go ahead and get there, and we'll talk about
predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
I have too many predictions to even. They're all jumbled in my head.
I'm
right
having
now.
a hard time imagining Mindy Project with Mindy as a mom.
Me too.
Because it's all about her. I don't know, just her single life, and you know, even being with Danny, she's still kind of on the prowl a little bit.
It's literally the basis of the show. That's why, I mean, I could even see them going eventually into the marriage realm for sure. But a pregnancy to me is like, or having a baby is not very Mindy Project, or just makes it would turn it into a different show. But maybe that's exactly what they want to do, because you know, you can, as much as we love the show, of course, and it's great and it's a hit for Fox especially, you know, there's only so many storylines that you can do with a show, so maybe they are trying to change it. I kind of hope not, though, because I love it like this.
Yeah, but it documents, you know, this one character's life, and as in life does, we all go through changes, you know, start families, that sort of stuff. So I wonder if it will like actually go through that whole process of her kind of growing up and getting like a real family, that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's interesting.
I think that this is going to be a pregnancy scare, but I don't think she's going to be pregnant and actually have the kid. I think it's probably like some type of mistake with the, you know, results or whatnot, but it's going to be a wake-up call for their relationship.
Yeah.
So I think that's a way to kind of tie it in, like, okay, where do we want to be? Do we want to be in San Francisco? Do we want to be in New York? Do we want to live together? Do we want to get married? Yeah. I think that's the direction they're going. I don't see them bringing a baby into the cast right now.
So what are you guys thinking, San Francisco or New York?
New York.
Even though I would rather her be on this coast, yeah, it's gonna be New York.
Yeah. I think she'll be in San Francisco for a while though, but I think that they'll end up in that cute little brownstone in Harlem, and Harlem has some good restaurants.
They got a lot of work to do though on that place.
Yeah, Danny can do it.
But they have a place. It's no rush, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have the other thing.
Yeah, and so we think Peter, although he's gone, we think we'll see him, you know, a few more times.
Yes.
Sprinkled here and there.
For sure.
Anything for Morgan, you guys?
Hopefully we'll see more Julia Stiles, you know.
I know, right?
I think that Gurgler is going to be a permanent cast member.
I like Gurgler too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like the replacement to Peter.
Yeah, and he'll
the way
come
they tied
to
it
the New York,
in.
the New York one.
Yeah.
All right, well that just about does it for us. Make sure you guys go and check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, and also on Twitter, Instagram, you name it, at AfterBuzzTV.
Every social media. You
Yeah,
know?
where can the people find you guys?
Y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat at Eman Fresh.
Her first Snap was tonight.
Yes. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sterling Cates. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.